just like... We've got a lot to show on this video. We have a big backlog of features that we've been working on over the past 5 months or so. And this week is starting to integrate them into the game. You're just going to see a whole bunch of new content for the very first time. Hopefully surprises you a little bit. You've thought to yourself, oh, like they're just sitting on the rafters and not doing anything. But we've been really hard at work and this is what we've done. So what used to be Bridgewater is now just forest land. And then yeah, here's the beginnings of like the new sort of Bridgewater. It's going to be refined over time. We have Steph, the farmer. You can also purchase the watering can and the scythe from Steph. So that's how you actually unlock those items now in the game. And then you'll be able to upgrade those at your anvil, which is another new item in the game. Then we've got the Adventure Outfitter. He just has the torch for sale. So you'll actually buy your first torch instead of crafting it, and then you'll be able to upgrade it at your anvil. And he'll also have backpack upgrades as well for sale. And then we have Jared, the sort of blacksmith tradesperson. So Jared will be able to trade wood, stone, and coal. He'll also be selling armor and shields. And a couple other little things as well, but sort of just like a one-stop shop for like just general supplies and goods. This dock area is going to be reworked a little bit because Kevin is also going to sell the fishing rod and some new cosmetic items. Well, actually, not really cosmetics, they're actually like have abilities and effects. And then the pirate has made a comeback, Jack the blackjack dealer. He will be in Bridgewater now from the get-go, and you'll be able to play blackjack and versus Jack the pirate and buy some other stuff with him. Okay, so I've been working on the town for a couple days now. I actually even started on the second town on the Dark Forest Island and I actually live streamed it live on YouTube. So I'm going to be trying to live stream development of the game at least once a week on this same YouTube channel. So there's two big reasons why we've changed Bridgewater in the first place. It felt like the old town system that we have was just a really, really big town for the sake of being a big town rather than really focusing on the details and the quality of just a small town with a lot of detailed interactions. And then the second part is like the mechanics of the town didn't really play out the way that we thought. That's all like the great thing about an early access game is we can put out features, see how they practically work in the game, and then change them based on that feedback. So that's why we're rethinking the town and we're spreading it over the map to promote exploration, and we're going to keep the sort of encampments over each sort of main island on the map a lot smaller so we can focus on making a lot of quality, a lot of detailed interactions, animating NPCs, having sounds, having more dialogue and all that sort of part, and just focus on building that up first so we can have this really nice detailed vibrant town system. And then as a second layer above that, then we can start working how to weave in the more creative sort of town building mechanics in a different way where people actually sort of use it properly.
Alright, let's talk about armor. You can see our updated player model, all nice and high def, and it's all fully animated too, so you can actually see the full animation of Len, and you can also see all the updated clothing. I'll go through this clothing system in a later video. So if I open up a utility box, I can actually just drag armor straight onto Len, so I get a full set of knight armor here. And then bam, I've got all this armor equipped. You can see I've also got armor on my armor bar. So I'm actually actively blocking damage right now with this armor equipped. And we've added in some various armor sets. A lot of this is all work in progress. But for example, I could equip a fisherman's hat. I could equip a farming hat, bandana. And this farming hat and stuff would have different effects for farming. There's the shipwreck set of armor. Really cool. You actually find this out on current islands. You have to go exploring to find the shipwreck armor. You can also see in the background the new feature of items dropping onto the ground. So if I actually just drag like a sword off my hotbar, it actually drops onto the ground now, and we've rebuilt the whole item pop-up UI so you can see some detailed stats of the damage per second and attack speeds and all sorts of stuff. This is just a quick little preview of the system because all of this is still draft in progress stuff. You can see a nav mesh, and basically everything that has navigation, such as animals and enemies, they use this as their way to sort of calculate pathfinding and stuff like that. And previously, up until this point, this nav mesh has been sort of baked in, and that nav mesh can't really change. I'll quickly switch over to the game scene, and then I'll basically show you how it's running now, and you can see the difference between what we have here and then how it's now working in the game. Okay, so we're in a new world of Len's Island here. You can actually see that here is our nav mesh, and this is all completely dynamically built at runtime. Now, enemies or animals can completely navigate throughout the world of Len's Island. They can even go upstairs. They can do all sorts of stuff. And this opens up like a big world of possibilities, because now you can also trap things. So now I've actually got a little pen of crabs that I can keep them as pets, and they can bite me if I get too close. But this is like a really, really big deal, because this was like really the main thing holding us back from adding animals to the game. It also sort of invokes these like really interesting tower defense mechanics. For example, we're adding this whole new procedural cave system to the game, and we're also going to add building zones in that cave system, so you'll be able to build, because one of the elements will be sort of expanding upon is farming and making so you can actually create some farms down in the cave. But what this means is we could have enemies in the cave, and they can actually interact with your buildings. So enemies could potentially do damage to buildings in future versions of Len's Island. You could have traps and also make sort of like, I guess, mob farms like you could do in sort of Minecraft and mob spawners and things like that. There's a whole sort of array of really interesting mechanics and interactions that could come out of this system.
Alright, so that's it for this week at Flow Studio. Get ready for a big week next week. We're going to show even more stuff. Please leave your ideas, your thoughts, and your feedback in the comments, because we're going to make that into a big proper video in the coming month or so, where we actually sift through all of your ideas or your comments and actually practically brainstorm them, talk about them, implement them in the game, which, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So until next time, have a great day, everybody.